Notice on the right-hand side the properties of that form. I can double-click the Properties window to undock it, so I can drag it anywhere else on the screen. See, I can dock it to the left or to the top or to the right or to the bottom, or just leave it floating. Here it's filling the entire contents. Let's undock this Properties window so we can work with it some more. Let's make it floating. There we go. So you'll see you have lots of flexibility in working with windows in Visual Studio as well. Just to show that you can, I'm going to change the name of Form 1 to something besides Form 1. I'll change it to, say, My Form File here. And doing that doesn't change the name of the form on the disk as you see it here. So if you want to change the name of the file on the disk, let's put this back the way it was. There we go. We can change that here. I'll choose right-click and rename. Here we go. Change it to My Form File.vb. Now when I do change the name of the file, it asks if you want to change all the references within the project to Form 1 to be My Form File. If I say yes, then you'll see that it also changed the name of this object within the project to My Form File. The name of an item does not have to match its file name. There's nothing that links those together, and it was just a convenience that Visual Studio made that change for you. Now it's important to note that if I had changed the name property of the form object within my solution before I had changed the file name, Visual Studio would not have overridden that property change. Changes you make specifically always take precedence. Now notice right now that the caption of this form says Form 1. We can change that by finding the correct property. There's a text property of the form that controls the caption. I can just come here and change it to, say, Hello. And as soon as I change it in the Properties window, it changes on the layout of the form itself. Now some properties include multiple subproperties like size. Right now, if I expand the size property, you can see the width is 300 and the height is 300. If I change those here, say to 200, just 200 here, and 200 here, the form changed size. In addition, the size property display changes. One of the cool things about Visual Studio is you can also change this directly in the size property. I can just type 250, 250, and it has the same effect as if I had changed each property individually. Of course, you can also change the size visually. I can come here and resize this, and if you look at the lower right-hand corner of your screen, you'll see that as I change this, the size updates and appears correctly in the lower right-hand corner. When I let go of the mouse, the value in the Properties window updates as well. Let me put these back where they were just so there's some nice, neat values. Now, if you find a property that is marked with bold text, generally you can right-click on that property and choose Reset. If you do that, the values go back to their original default values. Not all properties support this, but for those that do have a default value set, you should be able to right-click and reset the values back to their original.